Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Sunday afternoon. Down and out. Is Biden on the way out? And if he is, who's going to take a spot as the Democratic nominee? I'll cover that, give you my thoughts on it. Also, Mrs. Dawg and I had other observations yesterday as well. So, observations part two. So, we'll see what kind of interesting comments I can get from that. There were some interesting ones from yesterday's video. That's the best way I can put it. Interesting comments. And also, there is some interesting chatter going on out there in the internet, social media world. I'll go into that a little bit as well. Also have a very good passage that I'm going to share. It's a real good one, so stay tuned for that. Is he out? Is he down and out? I've been seeing reports today. One of the big stories today is that Biden said that he is quote unquote embarrassed about the debate, as he should be. And he is going to be meeting with family at Camp David today. So that sounds kind of urgent. So it makes me think, well, if he's going to bow out and they go ahead and decide, they need to do it sooner than later because time is short, right? So that's the story that they're meeting today. So we will see what happens. For some reason, and I could be totally off, I could be totally wrong on this, but I have a feeling they're going to put the pressure on big time and he's going to just drop from the race. In other words, complete the term, complete the rest of this term, and just not run for re-election. So, and we were talking about this earlier here, is that if you think about the handlers, the puppet masters, the Clintons, the Obamas, they have a lot of tools, they have a lot of power. And as I said yesterday, I think the main one they need to convince is Biden's wife, Jill. And, they can make an offer they can't refuse. I will take care of the family, money's not a problem. We can give you a position doing something. I don't know what they'll do, but I think I just have a feeling that's going to happen. We're going to see somebody else on that ticket. Now that the question becomes then, who's it going to be? Now, a lot of rumors flying around who that could be. The ones that I am hearing is Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania. Though those are both swing states, so that probably plays into that. Michelle could also be a possibility. Hillary, which I don't think Hillary, I don't think Hillary's going to be the one. I think that that ship sailed. Okay, it's gone. I heard somebody say RFK. I don't know about RFK. I don't know about that. I don't know. What do y'all think? And then Gavin Newsom, that guy is just he's so slick. I don't know, a little too slick for me, of course, way too slick. And then also there could be somebody that we're not thinking about. A young. They keep saying they want a young, vibrant somebody, maybe out of the shadows that we're not thinking about right now. Somebody young, somebody can bring energy to the table. That could cause problems for Trump. It really could. Maybe any of these folks could. Who do you think would be the replacement if if Biden decides not to run for re-election, if he decides to drop out of the race, so to speak? So that could be interesting. And again, like I said yesterday, I think it just highlights how much trouble we are in as a nation, because it's like, who's in charge? They look like they're in disarray, and they are. Who's really running? Who's steering the ship? Is it rudderless? I don't think it's rudderless. I think somebody is. I think evil is steering it right now. That's just my thoughts, my opinion. Part two of the Dawg duo observations from yesterday. And Mrs. D was bringing this up, and I noticed it yesterday too, but it had already left my mind. But Mrs. D brought this up a while ago. She said that, another thing noticed yesterday, we went to several stores, several kinds of stores. is that, especially in the grocery stores, we noticed older or elderly men and women that were alone shopping, and they just looked shell-shocked. Absolutely dumbfounded, shell-shocked, trying to find deals, looking for something in particular, looking for some, and just trying to decide. It's almost like they were deciding, do I buy this or that? I'm limited, and trying to figure out how they're going to do it because they're probably on a fixed income. And they were alone. That's another thing. It's like they needed help. It looks like they needed help doing something. And we did notice that in more than one place. And they looked stressed. They looked vulnerable, and they are vulnerable. I mean, we talk about going out at least in pairs out there in the public, but to be alone, you're that much more vulnerable. So we did notice that, no doubt. Also, Mrs. D, and this is a pet peeve of her, and me too, is the shoppers. In other words, the store employees that are rolling those dang monster carts around that take up half an aisle. I guess they're shopping because they're getting stuff ready for the people to pick up, customers pick up, or they're going to deliver, whatever. And in some stores, they seem a little more, what's the word? Considerate of you, the customer, trying to find your stuff because you made the effort. You're out there physically getting stuff, but they're trying to shop for whoever's going to pick up, and don't get in their way because they got this dang big rig of a shopping cart, and they're coming through. Or they'll block half the aisle, like I said, and so you got to navigate that kind of BS. So that's just another thing to navigate and cause stress. Ain't that right? I mean, it's a nuisance, right? It's just a nuisance. Another thing, before I forget, Ms. D pointed this out, but shrinkflation, we mentioned shrinkflation in a couple of videos, but I didn't notice this. But we typically order these because it's cheaper that way than buying them, directly in the store physically. But like the puffs tissues, all right, shrinkflation. This is what they used to be. 72 plies, 2-ply, but 72 of the tissues. This is the updated one. This is new and improved over here on the other side here. Check it out. They've gone from, yeah. So they went from 72 to 52. Is that right? Yeah. 72 to 56. 56. So yeah, shrinkflation. And they're the same or more expensive, the smaller one. Kind of slick, isn't it? I mean, when you first glance at that, it looks about the same size, doesn't it? I didn't catch it. Good example of shrinkflation there. I know it's one item, but the older we get, at least that's the way I look at it. The older I get, the more paper products I use, and in more quantity. Throw a paper towel at it or something, or even just a regular towel is cheaper, as well. Anyway, just something else we noticed. Anything else we noticed? Am I missing? I can't think of anything. Yeah, those are the main things there. Chatter, things I'm hearing. And when I say hear, I see these things on social media, comments, videos. But two common themes is that I'm hearing about, and this could be some fear mongering. I don't know. I'm not going to come out and say these are absolutely going to happen. Is that a hot WW3 is going to just break out at any moment? Now, you can make an argument that's already started, but one that would be something that we would feel here in the United States immediately, physically. So that is being talked about a lot. And I would not be shocked. I will not be shocked when it does happen, because it seems like that's the direction things have been going for quite a while. And it's been building up. And it's pretty obvious that the the ones that shouldn't be in power really want that. They really want it for various reasons. We keep hearing about the big money people and the big players having their bunkers ready and having guards around them 24/7. Now, I have a feeling at some point, if things really did fall apart, those paid guards would be gone or turning on them, because depending on how things go, heck, money may not even have a value. So that's something to think about. So that's one thing we're hearing about. And then another thing I've been hearing about is a pending pandemic, or some other cough situation that's going to be a lot worse than the last one. So again, there I wouldn't be surprised. Do not comply. That's my I will not comply. That's the first thing that pops into my brain, just like I did in the last time. Okay. So those are the main things I wanted to cover. It's unreal that tomorrow is July 1st. So election time is rapidly approaching. Or if we're going to have one. I know that's a whole nother question. That's a whole nother video. That's being debated. Are we going to have an election? What do y'all think? I'm going to go to a passage. Oops, where'd I put it? So this is a good one. They're all good, but these speak to you. They really resonate. That's the good word. That's the word used. I believe this was the Bible app of the verse of the day as well. So I always look at it, and sometimes I just use that one. But Psalm chapter 23. These are going to be familiar words. This particular one is a couple of verses, verse 5 and 6 of the 23rd Psalm. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. No matter what we're going through, no matter what trial, what tribulation is going through us, or we're going through it, our cup overflows. I think this speaks a lot to the character of our Lord, that he is always good. He's always in charge, always with us. And we have that promise, that faith. He is faithful. We just need to be faithful in return. And remember that, and let it power us through whatever we're going through. I hope that makes sense. And we will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Now, that's a comforting thought. All right. Share your thoughts. I'm sure they'll be interesting. But let's be careful out there. Be safe. Stay close to Jesus. God bless you. I'll see you soon.